Howdy y'all, it's Ree.
And Emmy.
And we're gonna be reading some Reddit stories, some creepy supernatural horror thingies that have happened to real people supposedly. And then we're gonna react to it and see what we think of it. So I am a strong believer in paranormal activity. Are you?
Ghosts aren't real.
Okay, so we've got a non-believer and a believer.
Okay. I don't think this is all about ghosts. It might be.
Probably is.
I do believe demons are real. Like Satan. That guy.
But
guy. Ghosts.
The man downstairs.
The man downstairs instead of upstairs.
Yeah, because he's Satan. I'm so tired. I'm usually not awkward, but I'm tired.
We also have Gus here, so if you hear random licking noises,
it's because
it's him.
He's on my lap. It's fair.
Licks the dead skin off of your... First story. My grandma lives in a very stereotypical horror movie house. Small, Midwest town, white and old-looking home on a farm. She even has a chipped wooden Mary nativity in the front yard. She also has a cemetery about a half a mile down the road. I used to sleep in the room in the corner on the top floor, my aunt's room, and it had a wooden rocking chair in it. When I was younger, I would wake up because I thought I heard it rocking, to the point where I would wake up my grandma and have to stay in her room. Child.
I still do that sometimes.
About 10 years later, my mom, aunt, and I were talking about how creepy my grandma's house was. My aunt goes on to talk about how when she was younger, the reason my mom and her ended up sharing a room was because she thought her room was haunted. She said she woke up one morning and the rocking chair was about 2 feet closer to her bed. And after that night, it would start rocking on a nightly basis at midnight.
I hate that so much.
What do you think?
I feel really bad for whoever wrote this.
Well, okay, the thing is, you know how vents are a thing, like air conditioning and stuff, and how they move
that
things?
Can't push a rocking chair.
You don't know what kind of rocking chair it is, though,
it's
you know?
still made of wood. You can't push it.
It's a rocking chair. They
yeah.
go like that, and you know how some of them and they shake kind of?
Not enough to move it 2 feet.
It could.
During the night. No.
It could.
Rocking at midnight, exactly midnight, every night.
That's when the AC goes on every night.
For everyone?
Well, for them, probably.
I'm not buying this.
Well, I'm not buying it either.
No,
That's not a ghost.
If you have that strong of an air conditioning, then you need a new air conditioning.
Dude, no, I need that air conditioning.
The air conditioning is gonna put Hurricane Katrina in your house.
Hurricane Katrina.
More like Hurricane Tortilla.
Okay, moving on. Next story. Oh, do you want me to read it or do you want to read it?
I'll read it.
Okay.
Until a few years ago, I had a
flip phone.
A flip phone. I had a flip phone. One day, I got a random call asking for some girl named Sarah. I told them they had the wrong number and they hung up. For the next few months, I would get these calls asking for Sarah about once or twice a week, coming from different number and different sounding people.
Grammar, everyone.
Yeah. Sometimes these calls came at 3 a.m. One day, I got a call, and like usual, I said I didn't know Sarah. After they hung up, I went to my contacts and hit redial. The answering machine said that the number did not exist. I went back to my call history trying to call some other people that had called me with the same result, a machine telling me the number did not exist. Every time I would get these calls, I would redial the number and still got the machine. I googled the numbers, but I learned that they were coming from North Dakota, Montana, basically everywhere in the Midwest. The next time I got a call asking for Sarah, I said, "Oh yeah, she's right here," and the other person on the phone said, "No, she isn't," and hung up. Things started getting weird when I started getting calls from unknown numbers calling me. Whoever or whatever on the other end hung up the second I said hello. Once I got a call when they didn't hang up after I said hello, and I could hear someone was on the other end listening, but they didn't say anything. Just something really uneasy about it.
I think that's just a big prank.
Yeah, that sounds like
She probably has a friend that moved away in 2nd grade. She somehow got her number.
But
and
when
was
they call it back,
hey,
it says the numbers don't exist. Well, maybe it was *67. Is that what that does?
I think that just makes it so that your
just
contact doesn't show up, but they could have burner phones, you know? Do you know what those are?
No.
Oh.
I'm not.
They're phones you can buy from the store and use and then throw away.
Oh, gotcha.
Pretty snazzy, I guess, but
how much
calling,
are they?
I don't know, do you want me to look it up?
Yeah, because I feel like that's a lot of work for one person to go through if it's disposable, it can't be that much, but at the same time. Oh yeah, that
is my phone a burner phone? Oh, is that what a
Wait,
track
they're like
phone
full
is?
on like Samsungs? I thought it was.
No,
it'd
no,
be like a flip phone.
like little itty bitty.
Little itty bitties. Oh, they're like
So,
$5.
like a flip phone, yeah. Burner.
That's a lot of time making a phone that's just disposable after you call it once.
I don't know if it's disposable. I think it's just for like, oh, in emergency, you need to
Got
call
it.
someone.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that does kind of sound like a
Burner
prank.
phone.
Because I feel like ghosts wouldn't call you on a phone.
I
Do
don't
they know how
think
to
this
use
one
a
is
phone?
a ghost one. It might be like, oh, you know, Men in Black or like the FBI or something.
That's true.
CIA.
Yeah, she's right here. No, she isn't.
No, she isn't. You liar. I know it ain't Sarah.
You told us the last 20
Susan, your
times
friend
it
is a
was
freaking
that.
liar.
You told us the last 20 times you called that Sarah's not there. Why would she be now?
She showed up, man.
She just did. She came. She's in town.
Number 3. I was staying in the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas.
That sounds like
Hotel.
a place with a lot of alcohol.
Oldest property on the strip with a sordid, that's a word, sordid mob history. Neat. In the middle of the night, I woke and saw a dark figure moving around the foot of my bed and coming up the gap between the twin beds. I hit the light and there was a full figure of a man in a 60s sports blazer with blood all over his face. I yelled, "Go away!" And, grammar once again. I yelled, "Go away!" and it's supposed to be started flailing, that's a better word. Flailing my arm in his direction. Fling. Whatever. Just like that, he disappeared. I woke my friends in the other bed and my buddy said, "What the heck you swatting at?" I told them and they laughed at me. The following morning, my buddy said after I'd fallen asleep, water was dripping on his head. But there was no leak on the ceiling and I was convinced we may have shared a paranormal encounter. Ooh.
Okay. No, you didn't share it if he didn't see it too.
I mean, he thinks water dripped on his head.
He was drunk because it's Vegas, and they were at the Flamingo Hotel, which has alcohol.
Someone was. How do you know that? Like, oh
Maybe
look, my friend's
different
passed
drunk guy
out.
wandered into the other guy's room.
Lock your doors, kids.
I mean, it's Vegas. It's probably some rapist or something.
I think that's like, you know, someone either got high or drunk. One of them passed out.
Yeah, well,
the other drunk person went over and was like, you know, like slobbered on them or something, or dry his hands.
Or maybe he was just so drunk he just imagined that water was dripping on his head. So at least one of them was drunk. Or
they were on drugs.
That too.
Yeah.
Hi.
As for the paranormal man,
Casper?
That's called sleep paralysis. So
that is true.
That's a thing. It's not a ghost.
That's true. I never considered that. It could have been a ghost though, but it's more likely to not be.
Ghost.
Okay. I had a black cat called Casper. Spooky. We adopted her after she ran away from her previous owner. She was missing for a few days before the previous owner found her in the bushes, skittish and frightened. After carrying her home, the owner discovered that she was allergic to cats when her arm broke out with rashes. Wait, so the owner... Wait, she owned the cat but just now realized that she was allergic to it?
It was missing for days before the previous owner... Wait,
so the owner never knew she was allergic to her cat until one day when she started paying attention?
I guess.
Okay.
Maybe she never touched the cat until then. It was like, "Oh, come here, Buttercup." And it's like, "Oh, my arms."
And she put out a call for a new home, which was answered by my animal-loving family. For ages, she was scared to come near anyone and was totally averse to being petted. Petted?
Pet.
Pet. She turned into a total ham.
She's a cat. She can't be a pet.
Wait. Never missing the chance to jump on you and lie with you. Ooh, kinky. We loved her, and I loved her heaps. Then one day, she lost the use of her back legs. She just woke up and her legs were not working now. Not long after, I read that wrong, she passed away.
She passed away.
The point is, my parents and I were sad. A few days later, I was sitting on my front step having a smoke. I read stroke.
I was just sitting there having a stroke, you know, like normal. Casual
well,
stroke.
I mean, smokes lead to strokes, so... Hey, that should be an ad.
Smokes lead to strokes, kids.
And I gear a meowing sound.
I hear.
Identical to Casper. But they're just...
Is that good?
Yeah. Okay, I look out front, and there at the gate was a cat meowing at me that looked just like Casper. I went over, and it ran away. I looked down the street after it, and it was gone. I mentioned it to my parents. They both said the same thing happened to each of them separately, which was a surprise to them too. Now, it could have been a similar cat from the neighborhood, but it only happened once to each of us, and then was never seen again.
Demon cat, which Jax would agree on.
I mean, pets come visit their owners all the time when they die, I feel like. Like, my bunny visited me, and then I didn't see it, but I like felt him there. It was super weird, and then I was like,
it
"Wait
your
a second."
bunny?
No, it wasn't my
It
bunny.
was a dust bunny.
I was in the garage where he used to live because we kept him in the garage, and so I was just sitting in the garage one day. I was just chilling one October morning, and then I felt like a presence that just felt like my bunny, my dead bunny, who was like my best friend. And then I was like, oh, that's weird. And so I just kind of sat there for a little bit, and I was kind of at peace. And then I went inside, and I opened my phone, and I looked at the date, and it was the anniversary of the day that I got the bunny. And I was like, oh, he came to see me. So I think the cat came to like reassure the owners, because like they only saw it once before it like didn't go again. So it was just kind of like, farewell, bid ye, I love thee. Happened.
That sounds cute, but it's not. I feel like that's just totally made up.
What if Gus died and you felt his presence in the room one day? Like
that would be
after?
heckin' terrifying, because I'd be like, why is your corpse walking around my room?
No, you wouldn't see him. You would just feel his presence, and it would be like.
Dude, I feel presences. Presences when they're
presidents. Obama? You're an abomination to this country. Sorry. I don't care if ghosts watch me while I sleep, because they're like, that's whatever. They do their thing. They can't
like,
hurt me.
Sitting
but
on your
real
bed just
people?
watching you, like, picking up your stuffed animals, like, what the heck is this? It's like a little koala. I just tried texting Jack. I tried to type quick, and it autocorrected to Australia.
I was wearing underwear.
Yeah, no, that's called a Speedo. When I was 16, I was riding horses with my friend in the field beside her house. The horse threw me, and I hit my head. Hard.
Kinky.
Okay, the next thing I know, I'm on my back in incredible pain, staring up at my friend, who is frantically screaming at me. My gaze shifted and then refocused on her friend behind her, a tall, thin man wearing a black suit and an old-fashioned wide-brimmed hat. He was staring unblinkingly into my eyes over...
He has a boner.
Guess who's about to die? He was staring unblinkingly into my eyes over my friend's shoulder. Days later, she came to visit me in the hospital, and who stays in the hospital for a concussion that long?
Me?
What? I asked her about the man I'd seen. I thought it was the new boyfriend she'd recently told me about. She told me there was no one there but me and her. She hit her head. That's proof enough that, you know...
Is that freaking Charlie from Good Luck Charlie?
No, that's a different show. I forgot that show. But
it looks like...
Just read it.
Okay, this past year I went to bed on a normal night, and in mid-dream, everyone stops, and a voice says, "The fire alarm's about to go!" You scared Gus! Because the fire alarm is about to go off. I wake up in 5 minutes later with the fire alarm starts in our building. I asked my roommates the next day if anyone said that, and I just happened to hear it, but they said the alarm went off around 4 a.m. and they were all sleeping prior to it going off. Plus, none of us knew that they were testing the alarm beforehand. I was weirded out after.
Okay, I think she probably did know, and she just wanted to do it for the sake of the story. Okay, number 7. Back in 2005, I was in a band that toured the country in a 15-passenger van with a trailer. We were on the way from Columbus, Ohio to Erie, Pennsylvania?
That sounds eerie.
The show had been canceled in Ohio due to a power outage, so we decided to get on the road early as we had friends in Erie who were taking us in for the night. I'll never forget this moment for the rest of my life. We were all having a conversation. There were 8 of us total in the van when the driver and passenger both shouted simultaneously, "What the was that?" Oh, what the was that? That's what it says.
What the was that?
I'm getting goosebumps on my arms right now just remembering the event. I was sitting behind the driver with my back against the window, and I didn't see anything, but we heard a whooshing noise, as if someone flew right over the van. Okay. My friend, who was sitting next to me,
Superman.
looked like he had just seen a ghost. We wound up pulling over on the side of the road because everyone was freaking out, thinking we hit something. Nothing was found. A tall black figure lunged at the van from the shoulder of the left lane. What the? All the way over there?
Yes. All the way.
Lunge. Okay. My friend who was sitting next to me said the same thing. Bless you. Bless you again.
Excuse me.
Stop sneezing. The next day we inspected the van in daylight and noticed there were streak marks across the roof of the van. But like, I honestly don't think that was like a ghost or anything like that. I mean, that could have been a bird. You know?
A bird that looks like a man. Or ghosts are real. Yes,
No,
they are.
no,
And
no.
Leave a
Ghosts are
comment.
not real.
Comment your stories. Comment if you think ghosts are not real or real. Comment what you think about these incidents, and make sure to like and subscribe. Sorry we had to cut that off short. This is about to lose storage, and we're not going to be able to finish this.
Is it though?